go and sit down. That's wonderful. Okay. We have decided to change the order a little bit of what we're doing today, because today is all about our wonderful children. So we have many displays and many wonderful people here that I will welcome properly after we have heard from our fantastic children of Hartington C of E Primary School. Can we please welcome them to the stage? Welcome the Peak Park Rangers, the National Peak Deep District National Park Ranger Service, which we are very grateful to have here today. And of course the very newly formed charity arm of the Peak Park, which have provided a grant of £500, which is a wonderful donation, which has helped the children to visit Ian and also do so much work, which they're going to tell you about in a minute, on the past village trail and what they want to see happening in the future. And of course, a wonderful welcome to our Tudor farming interpretation. I did have all this written down. They have come today, and the children have had a wonderful time, as I think some adults have as well. And so we're really grateful. Can we give a warm welcome to the Tudor Farm Interpretation Project? Thank you. And as we bypass the kitchen, we have got some wonderful ladies in the kitchen. And even more importantly, we have wonderful cake in the kitchen. Okay. And as we culminate our visit around the room, we have Philip and his team and the fantastic work that's happening in this village with the Wildlife Project, the Wildflower Project, and the environmental studies which are being carried out by the children as well as the church and the community. So a very warm welcome to Philip and his team. And last but not least, this man, who's a technological genius, has actually got on this television screen in the corner the launch of the trail 10 years ago, and the whole event, which was funny enough in the pouring rain last time. And what there is a link to this YouTube on the village trail part of the village website. So if you'd like to see that, and we are being videoed today, and the sound, so that will go on as well after today. Right, I'm fed up of babbling. Please. Are we ready? Thank you. As I always forget somebody, and how could I forget the sculpture group, which is hiding in the corner with Janet Bray, who's representing the sculpture group, fantastic group, which is behind the pottery. The Pottery Sculpture Studio is behind Hartington Farm Shop. If you've never been, they are open on Thursdays, Mondays and Fridays. And you're very welcome to go and have a look at the fantastic work that they do. And we have got many examples of the sculpture work that's going on in the village. I'm thinking we might be nearly ready. Don't know what the hiccup is. Just as well, you'll have seen these boards here.
I'm sorry, it's just taking a little bit of ordering.
Are we ready? We're ready. Good, that's excellent. A warm welcome to Hartington C Primary School.
Welcome to our village trail presentation. We will begin by singing an autumn song, Jumping in the Puddles.
Jumping in the puddles, skipping in the leaves, breathing in the autumn air, catching all the clouds. Anglican Church of England primary school. We are very fortunate to be situated within the Peak District National Park. We are privileged to have achieved the Ambassador School Award in recognition of the work we take part in, preserving the heritage of our national park.
You might be wondering what it means to be an ambassador school. Well, let us tell you.
Ambassador schools are schools inside or within half an hour of the Peak District boundary that have made a strong connection to the national park.
It means that our school understands and cares about the Peak District National Park and champions wild places wherever they may be, including in our own school grounds. This began with initiatives such as the Wildflower Project, which the school pioneered within our village as part of the Archbishop of York Young Leaders Award. During visits across the white and dark peak areas of the park, we were able to achieve the Don Muir Award, which became part of the successful application to become an ambassador school. We have taken part in local activities, for example, working with our community, friends and activities piloted by the Young Youth Sports Trust. These types of activities help raise our awareness and understanding of how to protect and support the district for future generations. With the help of the rangers who work for the National Park Ranger Service, historically the school has been active participant in the development of Hartington Village Trail. This has included artwork and narration with the leaflet. This year, both National Park Rangers Service and the community invited the school once again to take part in the trail party.
To support this development of the village trail, we had the opportunity in May to visit another village trail in Eyam, and this gave us the chance to look at comparisons between their trail and ours here in Hartington.
We have prepared PowerPoints to show these comparisons to you.
When we visited Eve, it gave us the opportunity to experience another village trail. We were able to then think about the comparisons between the two. We looked at Hartington Village Trail and thought about the positives of this. We could use this PowerPoint to show you this. As you follow the village trail, you will see the wildflower trail, which brought bees, butterflies and insects to the village. On the map of the village trail, there are hand-drawn pictures by the children who are at the school in 2013 and members of the community. For the children following the village trail, there is a spot the mouse inside the leaflet. They have to find the mouse on each page. The mouse is holding cheese because famous is famous for cheese production. In the leaflet, there's a question on each page for you to answer. And if you find the answer by following the trail, you can find out more about Hartington by scanning the QR code on the back of the leaflet. The public footpaths are easy to follow. In the leaflet, there is historical information and pictures, for example, of the old beef fair In the leaflet on the back page, there is a hand-drawn picture of Diamond Jubilee well-dressing. The well-dressings are an important part of the village because it's a long-standing tradition. It gives thanks to the water.
At the back of the leaflet there is a drawing page where you can draw your own fossils that you find in the village.
The trail could be developed in the future. We recorded these thoughts on the PowerPoint also. When walking around the village trail, if you had a disability or you had a pram or wheelchair, it would be easier if there was a track on the hill so you don't trip up.
We need a playground in our village because every other village near us has a playground, but not us. We need one out of the school grounds so the public can use it too.
On the pavement near the road, there could be a handrail for the elderly and for the children so they are safe on the road and traffic. There could be more benches for people who want to rest once they are tired from walking a long distance along the trail.
In the village there could be a picnic area so people can have their picnic and they can enjoy the village, not just during their visit to the trail but also before and after.
We could add a pedestrian crossing so it is safer for people to cross the road throughout Harsington so then they don't
When we visited Eve, it gave us the opportunity to experience another village trail. We were able to then think about the comparisons between the two.
We used the same methods to investigate the trail within Eames, so the comparisons made between the two trails would be fair.
The positives we identified were: it told us true stories about the history of the plague, which makes it very interesting and fun to walk around.
We saw a mannequin that had the plague, which was really lifelike and made us freak out. As we turned around, standing next to us was the plague doctor.
We also liked that they made their own version of the tombstones that actually was the replica of the real one. In the meadows there are tons of flowers that we got to identify so that we knew if they were poisonous or not.
We visited an outdoor church that two people met at. They loved each other during the plague and they visited the church when they weren't allowed to meet and planned to get married. However, one day the lady stopped coming and the gentleman realised that she had died of the plague.
Within the leaflet there are pictures of the past which you can look at when you are at this position on the trail and see how it has changed. Deposit cookies. We then continued by looking at how this trail could be developed in the future. Some of these ideas included:
when we entered the cave or church, we noticed that there were no handrails. There was a big drop and children might hurt themselves.
To make the trail more interactive, there could be some activities such as spot the difference, to take rubbings from. Since the trail is so long and goes across the fields as well as Eve Village, perhaps there could be an identified shorter trail through the village where it is easier access for younger children and pushchairs and wheelchairs.
Along with the comparison of the village trails, we have also been thinking of ways we could develop our village trail here in Harsington.
We have produced a set of challenge activities which could be used to help the trail become more child friendly. Obviously, this is
only one of the possible ideas of making the trail more accessible to a wider audience. We look forward to undertaking further work in the future with the community and ranger service to review and refresh the trail content.
We have used the theme of seasons to support the development of these ideas. Here are our spring and summer activities ideas.
And these are the ideas for autumn and winter.
These ideas include hunts for seasonal objects where you have to find clues including letters, numbers and symbols to reveal answers.
These ideas are available for you to look at here at the front.
We have been lucky enough to be given money from the proceeds of the village trail. With this money, we have had a seating area created in our school grounds.
We are still wanting to continue to make our playground and quiet garden exciting and inspirational places to play, learn and reflect in.
We have written letters to apply for funding from the PTA proceeds the village trail has made. These are some of the things.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed it. We will now finish our presentation by singing Mr. Oaktree.
Mr. Oaktree stood in the garden. How did you grow so tall? Who'd have thought that you were an acorn, not like a tree at all? The greatest oak trees once were little acorns. Big things start
That was just so beautiful, children, as always. Thank you so much for doing all that work. And I think Hartington, community group especially, but everybody in Hartington, we've got a lot of jobs to do now to get this village trail onto its next stage. And that's thanks to you and all your wonderful ideas.
I just want to say a few words, won't rattle on too long, but for those who don't know, the history of the village trail that we see today, when I started, I was in post for about a year, in 2011, I've been working with the school a bit, and the head at the time asked me if we could revamp, replace the old panel, which was on the school building outside, which was linked to the previous version of the village trail, which my predecessor Richard had worked on, and some of our other National Park staff in the community. And she asked if we could update it, so modernise it a bit. So I was a bit new to the area and everything, but after a bit of research, found out what happened already, and we had a study leaflet that our education team was using as well. But we decided it was time to revamp into it. There were some previous versions of Village Trails. We have a library over there as well. So we had a relaunch. We wanted a village trail for the visitors as well, and to replace the panels. So we'd like to have one on the school again, but also there was a need to have one in the village as well, in a more central location for visitors to use. So we formed a project group with the PTFA, the school, Dale District Council, other members of the National Park, Visitor Services, the Interpretation Officer, and then myself and some of the past rangers and volunteer rangers as well helped out. And the overall aims of the project were to increase the length of stay in the village by visitors and encourage them to learn about the special qualities, what makes it a special place. Also, longer stay might encourage a bit more spending, which would benefit the local economy. It's also available online as well, so exploring new ways of digital media interpretation, and the youth hostel as well, in one of the outlets for visiting schools to continue to use it as an educational resource, as well as some of our rangers who are doing that as well, educational visits. So it was an opportunity for learning with Hartington School, strengthening links with the community. So they were involved in the setup, as you can see with some of the pictures on there. We've got some of the old the launch photos as well. Their artwork was the bulk of what was in the trail. So the school had a bit of ownership, and we thought it might appeal if we had continued the theme of children's drawings that might appeal for families visiting as well. And also we made it interactive as well, so as well as finding the points around the village, some of the special features, you had a question to answer, some of the kids mentioned, there's a mice spotting activity if you haven't already had a go, and a bit of a drawing section which links to some of the fossils, which obviously link to the geology of the area, on the interpretation panel which is out in the middle of the village by the pump. So about 18 months later, hard work, sweat, toil, Liz, myself and the rest of the project group, content design, permissions needed, buy-in from businesses and the village and the outlying areas, funding grants, applications, because anything like this you need money to do it obviously, and some investment from Derbyshire Dales. The bulk of the money came from our Sustainability Development Fund, which was facilitated by IOS but from landfill tax. We were able to install 2 new panels. So this one here updated the one that was on the school building, you might have seen, and then this one was the new one, which is in the centre of the village by the pump, where there's that little stone plinth area and a couple of benches for visitors, a stopping point for visitors. So we launched it in 2013, 10 years ago. It was officially launched by our chair at the time, Tony Favell, and David Alec from the parish council. And then for the last 10 years, my involvement's really been any design edits that we needed, printing, sorting out the printing. Most of it is might be with Philip in the future. What else? Distributing the trail to the outlying businesses that support it, such as Rivendale, Bankhouse Farm, T-Junction, the Greyhound hopefully going to be supporting as well going forward, Dove Valley Centre, Elspeth, and also promoting the trail as a place to come at pop-up events in Hartington and public events as well, and pop-ups in the Manifold, wherever we could basically, we tack it on to what we're doing. So success-wise, it is a bit hard to measure the number of people actually doing the trail, because I haven't got time, all the volunteers really, to just sit and observe in the busy periods. But by the number of leaflets picked up and the donations that we've got in the various boxes in the village and around the village, we know that people, and the feedback from the businesses as well, that we do know people have been enjoying it and sticking around to do it, and also donating. And the donations, I think Philip can mention it more, but the donations initially were just to cover the cost of printing so we could make it a sustainable resource. But we got a bit of profit, and we kept getting a bit of profit, so then we were able to feed back that profit by the Hartington Community Group's funds and use it for community projects. So hence the Tudor Farming Group have used it for one of their projects. They've got some artwork at the back that's been funded by it, various other projects I think Philip's going to mention. Yeah, people were looking at the panels, so that's great, using them to navigate around the village and a bit of visitor information. And then the school have used it, obviously when we set it up, we had it as a project as well, to help design, learn about the village. But we've also, 10 years later, revisited it, as you heard from the kids now, as part of their Ambassador Schools project. Some of them didn't know about it at all, so we went to compare it with EAM, they use it as an education resource. And the YHA also use it quite a bit as well for visiting schools who donate. Okay, I think, Philip? Say something.
Thanks very much, Rose. Afternoon all, and first of all, welcome to today's 10th anniversary celebration. I'm delighted to be here. I'm Philip. I'm the chair of the community group, as well as you've probably noticed, part of the Wildflower Group. Now, for those of you adults who haven't done it yet, here's a challenge for you. The wildlife word search and the local wildlife quiz. The children set a very high bar, so if you want to have a go and see if you can impress us by beating them, that's a good thing to do. Another very quick plug as well, by the way, if you want to help yourself to plant a wildflower plant or seeds, please do so, because we're really trying to encourage people to do more planting locally. I mean, what an amazing presentation was that, eh? So fantastic to see what the children at the school are working on, great ideas that they've put forward to us, as Liz said, that we're going to take away and think about how we can help deliver some of that. I'd just like to spend a few minutes talking about, so what does this enable as a community, the work that we're seeing today. And for those of you who live in the village, those of you who visit the village, we are so fortunate, aren't we, to be part of such a vibrant, active, strong community in a beautiful part of the world. And it's great to see that. We have over 30 different groups and activities in a village the size of ours, which is with about 250 people, is amazing. That strength isn't here by accident though, and one of the really important things that today has shown is that our relationships and our partnerships with organisations is so important part of that. And today's been a great example of our partnership with the school, and the children from the school did an amazing job thinking about the next step in the evolution of our village trail, with the team from Peach and National Park, an amazing job they do, and the community. And to me, this is a fantastic example of how we all work together for mutual benefit. And also the celebration today, thinking about, reflecting on what we're seeing today, isn't it really impressive to see something that first started out as an idea back in the 70s as a village trail, and then led to the creation of what we see today that Rose talked about 10 years ago. 10 years, and it's still going. I mean, how impressive is that? So sustainability and the impact it has on the community and the visitors to our community as well is impressive. It's very high profile. Both people that live in the village and visitors that come to see us love the trail. They like walking around it. They like seeing what can be found in our lovely community. And as Rose talked about as well, the benefits from what we've done go far wider than what we see today. The benefits to the groups... Hello, can you join me? The benefits to the community in terms of the money raised, which I'll talk about in a second. The increased visitor numbers that our local businesses take the benefit of as well. So when you think about what this is delivering, think about those wider benefits to our community. As Rose talked about, the donations that have been made by the kind donations that people leave for us. Some examples of what we've done over the last few years. News and Views, our magazine, the History Group, the funding that's provided through the donations, Abington, Cub and Scouts, the church, edge of the church, school reflective area, and of course the Tudor Group as well. Lovely to see you here today. So just the breadth and diversity of what this has enabled is fantastic. And there's more, of course, as well. So I'd like to finish, if I may, by just saying a thank you, a big thank you to everybody involved. The school, of course, so without their leadership and direction, we wouldn't be here today. The team at Peak District National Park and the Foundation, thank you for your support. It really has been amazing, and thank you. We look forward to working with you going forward. And to all of you, of course, because without your help and support, it wouldn't happen as well. So, thank you. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon. When we finish, take time to have a look around, and here's to the next 10 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Philip. I'm just going to introduce now, some of you all know our current Chief Executive Officer, Philip Mulligan, who's just going to say a few words, and then I'll just wrap up afterwards.
Yeah, thanks. Really nice to be here in my official role, but really I'm here as a member of the community of Hartington. It is a fantastic community. You can see that. You all know. I was really struck when I was looking to move over here and where to settle. And I came into this village hall on a Friday afternoon to a play group with the school kids, and my kids, we were in Lincolnshire, we were welcomed by you here so warmly. And it just felt like what an amazing community to come and be part of. And now seeing this project and seeing the way that kids have engaged with it, I was going to say to Rose, well done. What a big impact from such a little project. But I now realise just how much work has gone into making this project work. And we've got Hilary and some of our other volunteers here as well, who do such a good job to engage the visitors who come here. Because we all know it is full of visitors at the weekend particularly. And this here is a great asset for those visitors, but actually just seeing the artwork and hearing about the project, it's about far more than what the visitors get. It is about engaging the community, it's about nature, it's about cultural heritage. So really big impacts from something that grew over such a long period of time, started quite small. So really pleased that we have been able to support it. And Rose, and remember, Rose was once a little acorn, okay? Rose was once a little acorn and grew to be this amazing oak that is rangering and protecting our community here. And I'm just waiting for our first National Park employee to be hired from an ambassador school. I don't know if it's happened yet, but those kids there are the future of this community and this place, and I really look forward to the continuing engagement with the school. I'd like more schools to be ambassador schools. We'd like to double and triple Rose and have more people out there engaging with the community. So thanks for coming along this afternoon. I'm just going to hand back to Rose just to wind up. Thanks.
I made a list, can't remember it. to a few folk. Mainly, where's Liz? Liz has been the backbone of this in the community. Hours of editing, grant applications, admin, sweating toil, setting up, amending, liaising with businesses, continued support, launch event and this event. We could happen without them, hankering around everybody, getting them involved. And of course the community group for helping make this happen and continuing to make the trail work. And I'm proud to say about doing it in the village, tell other people and friends, etc. The Beat Park, sadly some of them couldn't be here today, but some previous employees, our interpretation officer Kath, Tony, Sharon Mosley from Visitor Services, Sue Bezic from Visitor Services, Sarah Wilkes, Richard Godley, our design team who spent hours as well putting up with me, hassling them for little tweaks and stuff to get that just right. Design edits and grant applications, etc. Derbyshire Dales, who contributed at the start, Jill Chapman. Unfortunately, he's not very well, but Trevor Ragg, who's also the town crier, some of you might know him from the launch, and the Derbyshire Dry Stone Walling Association, who kindly helped with the plinth and the setting stone in the village for the panel. The artist, Thomas Eccles, who did this lovely map and some of the pictures from the trail. And not least, volunteer rangers. We've got Alison. Where are you, Alison? Hello, stand up. Alison's been trickling away at the outline businesses, distributing the trail over the years, collecting donations. And David, who's made some of the funky leaflet holders that you might see around. And then Graham as well. Where's the quack? So Graham, when he's not being a quack, is a volunteer ranger. We've been doing especially training ambassador to schools projects as well. So he's been taking basically anything I've asked of him, he's done it this last year. He's been helping out with the school with their projects. So that's great. But obviously the community part into it, I feel lucky to work with such a vibrant and engaging place. And you have to make me feel part of the community. I know I don't know everybody, but I try to get around a bit. But it makes me value my work as a ranger, so thank you very much.